They want to take it back.
I think usually, like, we get really surprised if it goes to like 90-10. That's like with an NRG, you know, where they always win those crowd votes anyway. But that is a lot of crowd support for Misfits. They need it because this is yet another chance when they are able to go to that major. They missed out fall. This is where they attempt to lock in winter in LA.
No, it's going to be all up against them. They do take on the might of Kuxir's minions, and there you go. That's what you're up against. Kuxir has made a bit of a history for himself of just ruining upcoming teams that want to make a name for themselves at majors.
Yeah, Kuxir, I think, is almost like one of those gatekeepers in that sense where he wants to be the man to stand at the door and allow you in. Something that we didn't mention earlier when Vitality, we've confirmed they're not going to the major. It's the first time KDOP is not going to be at LAN since Season 1. And RLCS LAN. That is a huge milestone. That is not a great place for him to be, but that's fine. Kuxir's missed a couple in his time. He's going to try and get that infinitesimally small chance for them to be working their way to the major. Otherwise, this is a straight elimination match. Whoever loses, say goodbye to your chances for winter.
We do see Growly gets the pass back over to Kuxir. Good play, actually, left to right as Growly looks for the shot. Find a way in. It was already well contested. Arju and Cash both up for this ball, actually. Both of them able to at least beat Kuxir, but Growly does clear over to Kux, who, unfortunately, on absolutely no boost, can't do anything with that play. This is a good pace currently for Kux's minions. They'll be very happy with this. We don't really see the pace being pushed too far by Misfits, but this is what they're after. Looking for the outplays. It's wide open! And Growly recovers just in time.
Oh my god, multiple saves from Growly there as well. Managing to chuck himself in front of the ball time and time again, is able to keep Misfits out, and they've had a pretty disappointing run of it. I mean, you're looking back to fall. They weren't quite locked in to go to the major, obviously, but they were very close to it. And then their performance just managed to let them down. Having a chance to have your fate in your own hands as Misfits, it must feel nice. You're not just relying on other teams to do well or badly. It's down to your gameplay. And this is where play well and you've got that opportunity.
Especially for a player like Cash as well, who is one of those players that when he was starting to emerge onto the scene, you were expecting him to even maybe take his place next to an Archie and a Seiko. But he's been a little bit quieter in comparison to the heights that those two players have got, but you can only reach those heights by getting to the mate. Kuxir, mate? Buddy, what happened?
You can't Kuxir, mate. You can't mates with Kuxir.
I mean, how else do you respond to this?
Oh, that was pretty bad, to be fair. I did blink.
Would you describe that as a Kuxir, mate?
That's a Kuxir, mate.
I just want to make sure he's okay, all right? That was very un-Kuxir-like. He's going to have a chance here to try and make up for it. One-on-one, goes for the flick. There's the set. Who's that to follow? Cash there early enough.
That was vintage, that flick.
I don't think in the Batmobile it's possible to get the flick any lower than that.
But
the fact that it didn't just ricochet out and hit a fan.
Stopping in front of the ball and then picking it on your roof. Realistically, nobody from Misfits actually stopping him from doing so. Having a minute to set up the flick and then just going high with it regardless. It's Kuxir at his best. With 2 minutes left, though, it's one apiece in this matchup. With Kuxir, as much as we are ribbing him lightly, he is actually looking pretty decent, apart from that one own goal that did.
But that's the reason why it caught me so much, is he was looking decent. He did so good on the setup for the goal. He was playing reasonably well, and then, yeah, a bit of a mistake that you wouldn't anticipate from someone of his level. Gets the pass over to Rick, says, looks for the setup. In goes Growly. And Kuxir now starting to be tasked with just holding back. His team's actually done an incredible job on the rotation, but seeing this an awful lot as well, though, as you might have caught it just the corner of your eye, a lot of cuts through the backside of the rotation by Misfits. They're looking to wipe out the goalkeeper. They just don't seem to respect that Kux's minions have got the quick transition. And because of that lack of respect, they are just taking a little bit more of their own time. You can see it again from Cash. Takes out the player, looks for the shot. And what's saved by Kuxir? He's got a stick with Growly this time. Keeps it away. How on earth is that still one each?
Oh my word, that was so good in defense. That was solid, it was decisive, and it was swift. the perfection to get the ball away. Kuxir's save looked awkward, but getting it above the bar is exactly what he needed to do. 45 seconds remain. Misfits must feel robbed of their chance.
Oh, that is sort of how this game tends to go, really. After all of that great defense, ends up just being a misplay from Growly that puts his team in such a bad spot. Yeah, I mean, they are wide open to this.
Yeah. Brilliant demo, though, from Arju, coming in, clearing it out of the way. Cash can go top corner with the shot smoke screened as well. It does leave Misfits open to be able to get the shot away. And now we're going to need to see Kuxir's minions respond, and they do so.
Of course, once again, Kuxir just holding himself downfield. He was getting harassed, but knew that the pass was coming over to him. And a solid shot right down the middle. I actually do like that Kuxir didn't look for the corners this time because you know the goalkeeper was looking for it. Let's put that right behind the goalkeeper. 2 each. Now Kuxir again. Saying his name or not, we've got the team name. You can't really get away from saying Kuxir over and over again in a series like this.
On the back, though, with 20 seconds left, it's Growly going for yet another shot with a backflip. Cash tries to tip it over, but Kuxir going for that quick defensive play. 15 seconds remain as Rai tries to get it clear with Growly following up, though. Chance of Misfits yet again, running out of boost. Cash with a brilliant 100 pickup as it spawns beneath him. Pressure on the blue half. Can Misfits capitalize? Not quite. Ball falls overtime.
Well, I'm going to be looking now for Misfits. Just see what they do with players like Archie. And once again, they're aiming for the player. They do not care about the ball. You can have the clear for free. I'm taking out your player. But this leaves Kuxir open for the shot.
Oh,
2 for him. And he gets the overtime winner. That's something so nostalgic about saying Kuxir wins it in overtime.
he didn't look for the corners on the first shot, but he certainly does so on that second. Great pass in as well from Rai. Love the chances to slow it down, go off the sidewall, let the player hit you out the way instead, and have the ball be free. A little bit of dancing at the end too. Kuxir's minions taking game 1. Orb, what's happening elsewhere?
Well, we got BDS currently 1-0 in the series against Luminosity, and they're up 2-0 in their current game 2. We got Williams resolve that game. Endpoint versus Williams. Let's see here. Endpoint won. Sorry. 2-1 to Endpoint for them in that series. Or in that game 1. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now.
That's okay.
And then Navi versus Semper, who just ended the overtime. Semper won a 2-3 minute overtime, something like this. And they take their first game 1 win. There's a lot going on. I love that we get a little bit of overtime still.
Is this the most tiebreakers we've had? I don't remember us having this many in the previous 2 regionals. This is a ridiculous amount of tiebreakers.
You're welcome.
Listen,
what's happening with Endpoint?
Listen, there's so much on the line here that I think that it makes sense that there's tiebreakers.
It's fitting.
It's
I'm really happy to see that we've got teams that are fighting and, looking to try and get a hold of this spot, because last split, we got a lot of teams that needed to do work and none of them did any of it. It was just, all right, if you win, you lost. If you win, you make it. I guess we're sending Vitality. Like, that's kind of how it went. This time, though, these teams are fighting tooth and nail to get to this spot.
And Shogun, we can also confirm that this is the most tiebreakers so far for an EU regional event. Copa de Rocket League is showing up big right at the end of winter. There were only 3 in the second regional and only 1 in the first, mate. Yeah, it's pathetic.
Oh, wow, 1 in the first. More. Wow, glad you didn't have to wake up for it.
Why are you so bitter?
I don't know, something about casting with you seems to have brought it out of me today. So I apologize. It is great fun. Brilliant fun. We'll do see what exactly Misfits can do in response to this. I think it's a very, very game Kuxir's minions. Look fast. Well, they're picking their spots, and the way Kuxir's minions are playing, it asks an awful lot of Misfits. There's the shot, there's the goal. Was there ever any doubt when you saw Arju take to the air?
It was a lovely pass as well from Cash, just going high off that side wall. The demo from Attain to open up. Growly has to do everything, and he's not able to. Goes just below the crossbar. Brilliant shot.
We need more of that. And one thing that Kuxir's minions are open to right now is those pace plays. but also just wiping out. Here are even more demos. Growly looking to try and take it over the top of everybody, but you see Matane just weighing on the backboard. Looks to keep that ball going as well. Forced Rai just to reset himself a couple of times. I'm having a little bit of an aerial off here between who can get the better position off the field. Right, I'm trying to find a way out of that. What is happening? This is the second one now that just kind of left me flummoxed. You got an answer for me, Stumpy, as to what that was?
It just looked so silly. He was clearly sideways, just drifting, and got stuck with handbrake. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I need to keep this ball with me. Help, take the ball, please. And they do. They didn't concede from it. Ryan did the job that he needed to. Keeps an eye on that ball. 2 minutes gone. They didn't get a goal from it, but they at least didn't concede.
Oh, Matane was lurking. Going to still be around. Growly able to cleanly win that ball as Kuxir is intercepted by Cash. Good bump as well. And again, almost had the shot open. Kuxir's minions have got to be so aware of the player not only playing the ball looking for a set, but just following up with some sort of bump. You see Arju again looking for Growly on the backfield. This has become the metagame at this point. Can Kuxir's minions avoid these contacts?
Yeah, Kuxir's minions, though, they need to just push as much as they can. And Rai, due to the fact that Cash wasn't able to get the touch up high, is able to receive it down low. Actually gets bumped slightly by Kuxir. I didn't realize that on the first pass through, but really nice speed from him. The equalizer coming around halfway into this game. Kuxir's minions back in it.
I'm glad that you pointed out the bump as well, because I didn't notice it on first viewing either. It just looked like you knew something had happened because Cash was very out of position. I just couldn't quite tell what. Growly again, reset. Looks for Kuxir on the far side. He's one-on-one against Arju, and he's almost got it, but Arju just held his nerve long enough, held position, and holds us at one each.
That's absolutely pixels at that point, where he only just makes connection with his former teammate that some would say Kuxir managed to make Arju's career back in the day when Arju subbed in. Years and years ago this is, but Arju has gone on to do just incredible things since then, and Kuxir has dipped out of the scene and has come back in since, so a little bit of a battle from the past.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well, but if we wanted to add a bit of a spice to the storyline as well, it was on Kuxir's team that Arju, despite doing a good job on that sub role, was not given the full-time spot.
Correct.
It was given to a lot. And Arju, I'm sure...
What a roster.
All right, didn't do great, did they?
Kuxir speed a lot. Was that the roster?
It was, and I don't believe it did amazingly.
I don't think they won anything. Good on them. They gave it a good old go.
We got confirmed. It was fruity.
It was fruity. And then that became liquid. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Rocket League history is hard to keep up with. Okay, there's a lot that goes on.
Oh, mate, go back to season 1 and 2 where you'd lose one, you concede a goal and suddenly Pashi kicked you from the team. And you're like, brilliant.
Until this new format came out, to be completely honest. Very happy now that at least these teams get a much more solid amount of times to prove is this roster going to work or not, rather than just, okay, we lost one game. Guess we're not teaming together anymore.
Guess I'm deleting your mobile number.
Oh, good save, but they're going to need another one. Again, Rai just able to keep it away. This is where Kuxir minions have really struggled, though. Have they got the boost management to stave off this sort of onslaught? Riley just downfield, turns around for it. Kuxir, he's gone. Also, Rai almost got taken out. Well, if you didn't know the game plan here, you certainly know it at this point, but he's downfield. Redirect! What a goal!
Oh, my word! Just the demos coming in. Kuxir has to get rid, does so in the path of Rai, who just beautifully ballets around the ball, and below the crossbar, it will fall. 13 seconds remaining. Kuxir's minions, what a display.
Talk about an brilliant solution to quite a difficult problem. Our defense is getting annihilated. Fine, we'll leave someone in offense instead. And that is 2 for Kuxir's minions. Misfits are really up against this here, Stumpy.
The team that everybody said had 5% chance of winning this series
You got
is
locked into that Twitch chat.
2-0 up. Silly Twitch chat. A
you.
2-0 up now, looking to knock Misfits out of major contention. Quite frankly, Kuxir's minions, just to be annoying. Because you're not going to the major. I'm going to say it. You're not going to the major, Kuxir's minions, but you're doing your best just to keep EU as fluid as we possibly can. Orb, what's going on?
There is a lot going on. Now, BDS, they're up 2-0 in series. They just tied, well, like halfway through the game, they tied. Luminosity actually taking the lead, and they were fighting back now with some 40 seconds remaining. And this is a goal. Luminosity just took the lead 2-1. They are fighting tooth and nail against BDS here. Then we had Endpoint versus Williams, 2-0 in the series. They won game number 2, 3-0.
Is that to Endpoint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He didn't say a name.
He's got about 10 heartbeats to catch up on.
We just stayed with bated breath. And then finally we had...
You definitely baited Stumpy there, trust me.
Big time.
Listen, then we had Navi versus Semper. 1-1 in the series. It is currently goalless in their third game. That's where we're at with these. But I love the screams. I love the passion coming in from you guys. All right, please keep it going by all means.
Oh, Orb's such a nice co-worker. Be more like him, Show.
Okay, I'll give it a go, but
Okay.
no more licorice, okay?
Okay, yeah, no more Swedish
I can
licorice.
beat Orb without the licorice, or just the majority of Swedish food, I guess.
Yeah, no one needs that. Apart from kebab pizza. Fair play, Sweden.
yeah,
you got
that's
one thing
pretty good.
right. Yeah.
We see Kuxir's minions continuing to put the hurt on it. As we mentioned, a team that will just be asking, why are you doing this to us? What do we do to you? We want to be going to the major. Always going to have to fight against the very best. Where's they going to drop off the post?
Oh my word, that is so brave from Growly. To know there's somebody coming in.
It was the best possible bounce for him. You do not want a player like Growly picking up the bounce for free. And that's kind of where that ball dropped. So Growly knew the potential that he had if he just let it happen. I was making angry faces at me after what we said.
No, the licorice. It's fine. If you go to Sweden, just don't eat any of the food. Pack a lunch.
You're like a space food. Rehydrate it whilst you're there.
Oh, mate, yeah, just bring army rations with you. It's better than their curry banana pizza with licorice on it or whatever they have.
I love how you told me to be more like Orb, but I dragged you to be more like me.
No one wants to be more like
He's going to get a goal for his team. Long way to go here for Misfits. But they need more like this.
Oh, that's such a nice pass, though, from Matane. Just getting that really delicate flip reset and just being able to tap it just a touch high to keep the ball going. That could have flicked anywhere, but it was just so wonderfully in the path of Cash.
Almost got to it again. Here's right. Got plenty of boost to try and set. That's actually down very awkwardly. 2 players needed, but over in the backfield, there's Kuxir, and he's got it after a bit of an attack on the goalkeeper. On the goal line, it's just going to go nowhere.
Who was that on the goal line? It was Growly.
He was upset.
Just parked in front of Matane, and I was just like, go on then. Go on, hit me. And by that point, the ball had found its way in and equalised for Kuxir's minions, continuing to assault the net and attempt the sweep.
Off the backboard, here's Matane. And get there in time. Kuxir just far too quick. An aerial battle here between both the squads. There's Rai. Would have actually probably liked that 100 boost that was just stolen away from him. Growly over to the right-hand side. A little bit of a desperate play here from Kuxir's minions. Bit of out of character from what we've seen from them. That's that 100 boost gone yet again. Kuxir only as far as Cash. This is a fantastic position for Misfits to be in. Now they need to capitalize on it. Arju around, but not past Growly, who was in the perfect spot off the backboard. There was nobody there available. Rai's got to get here in time. Instead, it's Growly that gets rid of the scraps, but this is getting worse and worse for Kuxir's minions. Look at the boost. They're doing okay. But for how much longer can that last? And how long until Misfits sends somebody to try and bump the goalkeeper? And again, Cash off the backboard. They're just constantly boost checking. How much have you got? Are you able to get to this? Infield to Arju, unchallenged, and it's finally going to go in. Fantastic play by Misfits.
That's one that they needed, and the tap down from Matane finds Cash to the nose of Arju. And Kuxir, he has to jump and pray, yet his god did not answer. Misfits doubling up, getting their second goal.
Just no way out, was there?
No.
You could see maybe a little bit of a warning shot that happened in the previous game because there was no demo attempts, really. Over on the side of Misfits, they did not want to let anybody escape to the opposite side of the field. So they just managed to drag Kuxir's minions into their own side. Here is Rai, his shot saved. Didn't quite know where that was going. Ash was not willing to find out. So just under 2 minutes left. One goal separates them. And for Misfits, it could be one mistake that puts them out of major contention. Oh, Cash needed that one in. Instead, Arju cleans up. And that was the sort of moment that we would have looked back on if this went against them. But Arju, exactly where he needed to be.
I'm not saying that's luck, because obviously it isn't. But that is a time where Cash must have held his breath and hoped, beyond all hope, that someone was there to put it in. Arju is that man. He answered the call. 2 goals clear. Misfits with these chances, putting Kuxir's minions further and further away from their dreams of keeping Europe as liquid as possible.
Oh, underneath by Cash. He wants the challenge. Kuxir happy to provide. This is exactly why. Arju off the backboard sets himself up. What a goal! And what a way to secure your hat-trick.
This is just beautiful mechanics from everyone on Misfits there. It's just Cash getting one flip reset into the second, then Arju using his flip reset after setting it to the ceiling to then power it below the crossbar. That is the kind of goal that you would really expect Misfits to be getting more frequently than we've ever seen them do so.
I mean, the spacing has been available to them as Growly almost found a way to get everything through. You can see the third man jumping in is Kuxir. At this point, 3 goal difference. You might as well send everything you can. Infield to right, looks for the shot, and Growly went for the hit and hope on the backfield.
Yeah, he fancied it.
Why not
He had a dream.
this point?
He had a dream that would work, mate, on the world stage. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but we all wish it did.
Yeah, 40 seconds left. This game might very well be done. Matane scrambles back, easily able to take control of the ball for himself. Kuxir still around. And Kuxir, better than anyone, knows that. Despite the fact that his team is in a very good position in the series overall, this is not the sort of momentum you want to be giving an opponent heading into Game 4.
No, I mean, going 5-1 up in a game is dominant. By no means, though, do we see that this is always, the next game is then going to be a win for Misfits. Some teams need this refresher, and they can't just sweep out a team. So, not too troubling, I don't think, but certainly a time where Kuxir's minions have got to reassess what they've been doing in this game and see just how it was different to how they approached Game 1 and 2.
Just couldn't find a way out, really. I think that's the main part of this puzzle that they got to figure out is when they get stuck in the rest of the field, how exactly are they going to deal with it? We've seen a little bit of a more patient look towards the offense from Misfits in this game. Not willing to hold themselves downfield for too long. Instead, just getting back, keeping players behind the ball and waiting to see when the opportunities were going to come over to them. Misfits have got their first game. But Orb, how are things looking elsewhere across RLCS?
Yes, we have Luminosity. How do you think they fared? All right, the strong BDS. Okay, Luminosity is they got a couple of goals in.
I'm going to say 3-0 BDS because that's my default answer to everything BDS.
No, I think we're Game 5.
Then you would be wrong. Yes, Luminosity has just pushed it into a Game 5 after essentially, it was a 1-goal Game 4, so it wasn't all that much happening, but Luminosity hanging in there, putting it to the big dogs of BDS, and they are pushing a Game 5. We got Williams Resolve versus Endpoint. Obviously, Endpoint being up 2-0 in their series. They are currently in a 2-minute overtime. So we will see. We will see what happens there. Are you a little nervous, Stumpy?
I am. No. Endpoint thrive in overtimes, probably. I don't know what to think about them. Williams Resolve are just so genuinely good that everything they do outright terrifies me. So Endpoint having 2 games as a buffer, it works okay for me.
The third tiebreaker that obviously we're not featuring here on the main stream is Semper versus Navi. Semper has taken their second win. They're currently obviously in game number 4. Still goalless. A minute and 40 seconds in.
Yeah, for Navi, they have at least made that group interesting. I think many people were kind of looking at them as the 4th best team over there, but still, making Semper work for it. And for Semper, worst case scenario here is if that one heads over to game 5. Over here, we do see Kuxir's minions also trying to avoid the same fate. Do not want to be going to game 5 up against a team like Semper, as Growly does have passing options, but his favorite passing option is himself. I'm going to quite get it to work out this time around. Now it's Arju to Metane. Kuxir tried off the shot, and Metane has got it for 1-0.
Growly going up for the pre-jump save, isn't able to do so, not a bad idea whatsoever. But Kuxir being lobbed opens it up for a Metane shot with 30 seconds in. Misfits with an early lead, starting where they left off in that third match.
Been much less physical from them, but it has been infinitely more effective. Cash again takes to the air. He wants right to move. He did. Growly just holding that midfield, ends up missing it. Not afford those sort of mistakes because it might have given Misfits a free shot. They didn't choose to take it. So it's Cash once again. He is getting transition plays for free. Cash just gets the ball in his own side of the field, and it's done. It's in the blue side of the field. It is now Misfits' opportunity. It's now their time, and that is so crucial with the way this series is going onwards. As Cash offered towards the backboard. He's bumped, but guess who isn't? Metane actually gets wiped out a little bit, but there's the shot, and Archie takes it.
They can't score a solo goal, Misfits. Every single time, it has been from one to another in one way or another. Cash finds Arju. I think that's probably posting out as well, maybe posting in, but regardless, Arju is able to secure it. 2 goals in a minute 15. And for any Endpoint fans out there, by the way, Williams Resolve did win that third match, literally as we came back, and we abandoned Orb in the ether. So that's still going on over there.
What's the nervousness at the moment on a scale of 1 to 10?
0.
0. That is confident right there. At least got 1 back. This is something that was very crucial here for Kuxir's minions because this was getting away from them. We can definitely say towards the end of a 5-1 game that, yeah, you gave up on it towards the end and the scoreline might not matter. But when you go down by 2 almost instantly, that's when it starts to become a little bit far too easy for a team like Misfits, who actually might have another chance here. Kuxir head of the play. Right now, for me, Stumpy, this is all the transition game. It's actually a very good one here from Kuxir's minions. Despite that one being very good, I just feel like it's better over here. Cash he's just so full of tricks.
I think you said that last play was good, but I think it went, if anything, too well and just flew out. That is terrible defense from Kuxir's minions, though, as we start to praise them. They throw it all away. Metane with 1 and 2 over the top. Ryan misses, Growly trusts, and with Arju prowling, the goal was to come. And Kuxir's minions, don't let this get thrown away. You have the 2-0 lead. You let it go down to 2-1, and now in this 4th game, it's 3-1 on Utopia. It's a scary position to be in.
That 3rd-man positioning is just all over the place right now for Kuxir's minions. They can't deal with this. And we want to talk once again about the transition game. This was Kuxir trying to find a way out.
That's silly.
And it's just the worst way to do it. You're giving up that ball for free.
Silly touch. It looked almost deliberate that he tried to hit that into the corner and have it high for him to have the rebound. But if he wants to get relinquished control of the ball with no boost, whatever it ends up being,
what a save.
He should have just hit it at the ramp if needs be. Otherwise, you always opt to take the touch there. Slow it down and then take it to the corner. But that's sometimes the unpredictability with the Batmobile. You don't know what you're going to get.
Well, 4-1. This game has spiraled out of control. We're looking at 9-2 for just the last 8 minutes a game. Beep. Orb, what's the news?
Orb, give us the news.
Orb here checking in. Navi eliminated from Major and the tournament after loss to Semper. Carry on.
Thank you, Orb.
Thanks for the news, Orb.
I love news, Orb. News orb.
He's very professional. He just came in, said it, and was out.
He's
I wish
really
I could be
good.
that efficient.
Yeah, so do I. That was amazing. That was a quick in and out jobby. Love that. 4 goals, though, still for Semper. Out of range potentially for Kuxir's minions, especially considering the gameplay we've seen from them. As I say that, though, Rai just bangs it on net.
I know, man. It's been far too recent that I saw that Vitality game to not believe that this is possible here for Kuxir's minions. That being said, the way Misfits have been playing, they shouldn't let this happen. They should be able to lock this down. Well, Kuxir's minions back under pressure, although that's a demo that they could have done with. Ash does a good job of just spotting the danger and making sure that he was back in time. Arju just dances around a couple of players, looks to go off the backboard. It's set. And actually, we see Matane dive on in, so Cash had to do well in the midfield. But Cash has been doing well every single game. He almost found a way in. Oh my goodness. This is the Cash that everyone in Europe is terrified of.
Yeah, Cash is one of Cole's favorite players for very good reason. He is so mechanical and so well put together on the pitch that when he starts to link his plays with his teammates or even solo, it is so much fun to watch. Arju is a player that can do just the same. And we've got a news orb. Orb news. Beep, 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 beep.
It is me again. It is it is me again. It's News Orb reporting for duty. BDS was reverse swept by Luminosity. That is confirmed.
Okay,
Please take it away.
thank you.
I want
Wait,
every single time we bring this in, chat, I expect News Orb to be spammed.
news orb beep, 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 with
as well, it has to
with
be
some
all
globe
caps.
emojis. Globe emojis as well.
Yes. All
That'd be
caps,
nice.
globe emojis.
News
Respect
Orb.
that he deserves, all right?
That's fair. That also confirms that BDS are in the lower bracket. Maybe for the first time? I think, right? I always hate saying
what,
stuff like that because I just don't know because I'm an idiot.
It's hard to keep track of everybody.
really hard. There's so much Rocket League. All the fans are like, no, why don't you remember? It's like, because there's so much. It's only my job for
There's a
3
lot.
days.
Do you want some more Rocket League? Because it looks like
Always.
we're heading over to Champions Field.
Game
We're going
5.
to get more Rocket League. And Misfits are making a series out of this, Stumpy.
Yes.
But Orb, do we need to do the beep beep beep?
No,
or,
regular orb. This is regular.
Regular.
I kind of like this beep, 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 and then I go
No. But this is regular Orb we're talking to.
Yeah, this is normal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yo, guys, what's up? It's me.
Huh?
I am back with some more results. So, obviously, BDS got reverse swept by Luminosity. Great show of strength from them. And BDS is confirmed for lower bracket. Endpoint versus Williams Resolve. They are 2-1 in the series. Endpoint is currently up 2-0, and the game is about to end in...
Okay.
It's over. Endpoint wins that game.
Number 1 in the group, in Group D.
That is right, Stumpy.
Yes!
Let's go,
Top
Stumpy.
6 for
Wow.
Endpoint. Yes.
Yeah. And then Semper
I'm a
beat out
neutral.
Navi 3-1 in their series. So they are through as well.
Nice.
So there you have it. Stumpy, are you happy?
I'm a neutral orb. I don't want to give any of my predispositions to any of these teams. So I am
No,
I'm
you
50. I'm
Yeah.
not bothered.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
no, Orb. Just
Yes.
turn around and then you can turn back in as a new man. Beep, 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 beep.
News orb, news orb.
News Orb. Where's News
News
Orb?
Orb.
Oh, he's gone.
Hey, it is News Orb. Kuxir minions eliminated with that endpoint win. Guys,
So that
please
means
take it away.
Kuxir's minions coming into this game are doing this for the best of all reasons. To be really spiteful towards another team.
Everyone in chat, by the way, is saying news orb with globe emojis. It's wonderful.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Kuxir's minions now, they just want to get a big Kuxir-sized spanner and throw it in the works because this is just to mess everybody up. Obviously, for them, to get through to the next day or whatever and get some money or whatever. But
I mean,
ultimately, it's an edge contention. They can't do it. Misfits still can. They just want to play spoiler.
As well as, you look at this in the long run as well. Not only are Kuxir's minions fighting to try and get themselves a little bit more money, but a good final split for them. Say they get themselves a major spot from there. These are the sort of points that you'll want to be having, especially after how quiet they were to this point. You want all of the points you can possibly get. You suddenly explode onto the scene. You might have an outside chance. I'm saying this is an outside chance of heading to Worlds. You want whatever you can get a hold of, as Growly tries to get rid. Instead, it's Cash. It's always Cash. Cash just is the midfield at the moment, all right? I'd have to say, I should say player is in the midfield. He's hit the ball. You should just automatically assume it's Cash. So you do see the infield pass, and that's not well dealt with defensively. A very poor challenge. And there's another shot, and a little bit of a letting off the hook there for Kuxir's minions. They are stuck here, rather, and this is how all the previous 2 games have gone.
Good bumps trying to be found in that blue net as well as Rye tries to challenge versus Cash, but player is in the midfield. This time, though, it's Growly challenging off versus Matane. Ball flies high with Growly dropping it down as well, and a backflip from Arju. No follow-up, though, as Kuxir's minions had a really clear-cut opportunity to get the opening goal.
Oh, goalkeeper's gone as well. It's an opportunity. Kuxir, he takes the shot, and Cash is already there. That was instant reactions from Cash as we head towards the second half of the game. Pass down. Cash actually loses the challenge in midfield to Growly. Now it's Rye looking for Growly yet again. They are knocking out Kuxir in the backfield because Kuxir is gone.
Oh, he turned away. Growly could have just hit that central and made it, continued that attack. But Growly turns off the ball because Kuxir gets demoed. No, that's a good chance to keep the ball in up the top. Nerves or whatever it ends up being, getting the better of Kuxir's minions in that situation as Misfits they hold out time and time again versus this attack.
Well, this is the most amount of offense we have seen Kuxir's minions have for the last 12 plus minutes. Matane tries to find a passing option. You can see Rye chasing them down. Does not want them to get out here for free. He's actually done a fantastic job of it. Sets the ball, or at least he tried. Was an awful big ask of him. But now that leaves Kuxir one-on-one. Out of all the ways Arju was going to play that, Kuxir will be happy that it was like that.
Yeah, running out of boost meant he just had to go for a flick or something to continue the ball. He just couldn't make contact, and Cash being shut down early by Rye on that attack. Arju bumped out the way, leaves Rye to again defend nicely, but round the side, Matane can drop it low, finds Cash just wide of the net, however. 90 seconds to decide potentially who wins this match.
Matane with a little bit of time. Kuxir just make sure he steals the 100 boost. Growly narrowly avoids as well getting bumped. Just feel one massive demo is on its way. I can shake how this series has gone. The question for me is who's going to get it. Drops down one more time. Growly still around, bops the ball back out to Rye. Almost went underneath both the goalkeepers. Kuxir takes his shot off the backboard, and nobody left. You used all your players, but not the best clear. And actually, that's got them caught. Rye 1-0.
Coming from the corner, Rye is just
Cash
rocketing it on.
Cash, you knew better.
The complete miss, though, coming out from Arju. That wasn't just Cash. Arju flying so far from that ball. Cash with the missed rotation. Rye did also have a good shot, but he should never have been allowed that ball.
I'm willing to share the blame, all right, on that one. Oh, Cash, he's really struggling here. And this could be another case of teams just crumbling under the pressure. We saw so much of it during the last split. Our Vitality ended up going out of this tournament and subsequently just forfeiting their chances for Misfits. That is not the goal to let this go on. Instead, Rye, that might be it off the post, and Rye finishes the shot. He's got the brace.
Rye, with 20 seconds left, attempting to secure this match for Kuxir's minions, rocking nearly 800 points when his closest competitor is on 236 on the opposition team, has put in a gigantic performance. Kuxir's minions throw the spanner in the works. They secure the victory versus Misfits, and they will end their chances of going to the major. Misfits, one of the few teams who had their chances in their hands, win and in, but instead, that is them gone. That is how close these series can be, Shogun. Wow.
I actually thought Misfits had the read on them. Well, it just goes to prove that Game 5, it's different, man. There's something horrible about Champions Field. The air is just, it's thicker. The boost is more difficult to get a hold of. And the recoveries just feel that little bit slower. But Orb, that is the end of this series. Have you got any news for us elsewhere?
Not really any news other than I was tuning into the Misfits broadcast and trying to listen into Jorby.
I'm looking at the Semper broadcast. It's
he
been
goes-
there's a thing happening over there.
I want to hear if Jorby's sad. Is Jorby sad?
I don't know how he sounds right now, but he was fired up. He is. I want to make a
Keyword
point.
there is was.
Well, I'm not listening in right now because it's going to mess me up. There's too many audio channels going on at the same time. But no, he was getting fired up. I mean, it just goes to show that, the team streams, the individual team streams, they all have their own flair. And whether you win or lose, man, they put on a good show over at their respective streams. So shout out to the Jorby and Misfits for their run and for their stream. It's been cool getting to tune in.
Can I show off when we're back on camera what the Semper stream looks like? They're currently